Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream video. I hope I'm audible properly, guys. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream. Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome back to another live stream video. Okay. तो आज के इस लाइव स्ट्रीम में हम डेव चैलेंजेस इस प्लेटफॉर्म से एक चैलेंज को पिक करेंगे। ओके। और उसे सॉल्व करने का प्रयास करेंगे। आई विल शो यू द चैलेंज। ओके। बट फॉर होम जिनको डेव चैलेंजेस प्लेटफॉर्म के बारे में नई जानकारी है उनको मैं एक छोटा सा ओवरव्यू दे देता हूँ। लाइक डेव चैलेंजेस, लाइक इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर आपको फ्रंट एंड, ओके, और फुल स्टैक से रिलेटेड कोडिंग चैलेंजेस दिए जाते हैं, जिस पर आप लाइक उन चैलेंजेस को पिक करके उसे सॉल्व करके आप अपने कोडिंग स्किल्स को और एनहांस कर सकते हैं। ओके, तो नाउ लेट्स सी द चैलेंज। ओके, लाइक मैंने ऑलरेडी इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर एक चैलेंज को पिक किया हुआ है। तो आज के इस लाइव स्ट्रीम वीडियो में हम उस चैलेंज को सॉल्व करने का प्रयास करेंगे। ओके, so I will go to challenge dashboard page. ओके, तो एट द राइट हैंड साइड यू कैन सी जो भी मैंने चैलेंजेस अभी पिक किए हैं, लाइक करंटली जो इन प्रोग्रेस स्टेट में है, वो सारे चैलेंजेस आपको राइट साइड में दिखेंगे। ओके, तो आज के इस वीडियो में हम लाइक माई टास्क बोर्ड इस चैलेंज को सॉल्व करने का प्रयास करेंगे। लाइक इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ फुल स्टैक प्रोजेक्ट। ओके, जहाँ पर हमें लाइक इस चैलेंज को सॉल्व करने के लिए हमें फ्रंट एंड और बैक एंड, ओके, दोनों टेक्नोलॉजीज का यूज करना होगा। लाइक दोनों पार्ट को क्रिएट करके मर्ज करके एक इस प्रोजेक्ट को क्रिएट करना है। ओके, तो विल सी द प्रोजेक्ट, क्योंकि प्रोजेक्ट में क्या है, क्या क्या क्रिएट करना है, एंड देन उस प्रोजेक्ट को क्रिएट करने के लिए हम कौन से लाइक लैंग्वेजेस का यूज करेंगे और उसे हम कैसे सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। ओके, so now let's see. So this is a dashboard. Okay, my dashboard project. Like you can consider it as a kind of to-do list kind of application, जहाँ पर हम लाइक हमारे पास एक टास्क बोर्ड होगा। ओके, और हम उस टास्क बोर्ड में अपने टास्क को ऐड कर सकते हैं और एज वेल कि हम स्टेटस को भी मॉनिटर कर सकते हैं, लाइक उसको स्टेटस को भी चेंज कर सकते हैं। ओके, सो एज यू कैन सी द लाइक से इमेज। ओके, इमेज से आपको पता चल रहा है कि एक टास्क कोड होगा, उसमें हम मल्टीपल टास्क को ऐड करेंगे। ओके, एंड टास्क का स्टेटस भी हो सकता है, लाइक टास्क कैन बी इन प्रोग्रेस और इट कैन बी completed और इट कैन हैव स्टेटस एज टास्क कोड टू। ओके, सो आज के इस वीडियो में हम टास्क को क्रिएट करना, उसे अपडेट करना, ठीक है, टास्क को व्यू करना और उसे डिलीट करना, लाइक इन सारे ऑपरेशंस को देख सीखेंगे कि हम कैसे इन सारे ऑपरेशंस को परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं। ओके, एंड वन इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग, तो लाइक हम अपने टास्क को एक डाटाबेस में स्टोर करेंगे, लाइक इसे प्रोसेस करने के लिए हम डाटाबेस में स्टोर करेंगे। ओके, so we'll see how we can connect our database as well. Okay, so you can see at the right hand side the fundamental tools which we are going to need. Okay, it will be हमें कम इंट्रोडक्शन टू गिट एंड गिटहब, गिट और गिटहब के बारे में जानकारी होना चाहिए। फ्री होस्टिंग फॉर वेब प्रोजेक्ट्स। ओके, हम अपने वेब प्रोजेक्ट्स को कैसे होस्ट कर सकते हैं, कैसे उसे डिप्लॉय कर सकते हैं, इसकी जानकारी हमें होनी चाहिए। ओके, एंड एट लास्ट हमें विजुअल कोड इंट्रोडक्शन, लाइक विजुअल स्टूडियो कोड के बारे में भी जानकारी होना चाहिए। और वी कैन यूज, इट्स नॉट लिमिटेड कि हम सिर्फ विजुअल स्टूडियो कोड ही यूज कर सकते हैं, हम कोई भी कोड एडिटर यूज कर सकते हैं। ओके, इट्स जस्ट काइंड ऑफ, so how, like I will take all this because okay, we know about Git and GitHub. Okay, but don't worry guys, if you are not familiar with Git and GitHub, okay, you can tell me in the chat. Okay, यदि आपको गेट और गिटहब के बारे में जानकारी है तो आप मुझे चैट में बता सकते हैं। ओके, आई विल ट्राई टू हेल्प विद। ओके, and then free hosting. Okay, also we will know some free hosting deployment tools or platform जहाँ पर आप अपने प्रोजेक्ट को डिप्लॉय कर सकते हैं। Okay, so I will click on this option as well. So back to roadmap. Yeah, let's click on this back button first. So I will click on this tick box again. Then I will tick the last option as well. Okay. So as we are familiar with these fundamental tools. Okay. Now let's scroll this, okay, and let's see the description for this task board. Okay, like ये challenge क्या है, इस challenge में क्या क्या करना है। Okay, so by reading this description, you can see in this full stack challenge, you will develop a straightforward task management application which will involve implementing essential HTTP methods such as get, post, put, and delete. This project will provide you or will provide an opportunity to demonstrate proficiency in full stack development by creating a system that enables users to manage tasks using a range of fundamental HTTP operations. Okay, so as you can see, description में, like this is a kind of full stack challenge. Okay, जहाँ पर हम एक स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड टास्क मैनेजमेंट एप्लीकेशन को क्रिएट करके, okay, which will involve like the implementing essential HTTP method, like जिसमें हमें HTTP method like get, post, put and delete का यूज करना है। Okay? Like this project will provide an opportunity to demonstrate proficiency in full stack development. Okay, like इस challenge को complete करके like हम full stack development में अपने skills को और proficient कर सकते हैं। Okay, so I hope you got an idea about this challenge. Okay, what is challenge and how can we for example, like I think you should have an idea like ये challenge में हमें करना क्या है। Okay, as now here you can see some user stories. Okay, so user story you can consider as a like kind of task. Okay, so इस challenge को complete करने के लिए कौन कौन से task को हमें fulfill करना होगा। Okay, so first task है create a simple task management application following the given design. ओके, सो चैलेंज में हमें कुछ डिजाइन दिया, लाइक पेजेस के डिजाइन दिया गया है, तो हमें अपने टास्क मैनेजमेंट एप्लीकेशन को डिजाइन के लाइक से सिमिलर हमें क्रिएट करना है। ओके, एंड आल्सो द नेक्स्ट स्टोरी पॉइंट इज बाय डिफॉल्ट इट शुड शो अ बोर्ड विथ 4 टास्क लाइक इन द डिजाइन। ओके, लाइक बाय डिफॉल्ट हमारे पास एक बोर्ड होना चाहिए जिसमें 4 टास्क ऑलरेडी क्रिएट होना चाहिए। Okay, user can edit task name, description, icon and status. Okay, so like each task should be editable, like जैसे हम edit कर सकते हैं, कर सकते हैं। So and user can edit the task name, description, icon and status. Okay, so like these are the fields which are editable. Okay. Now user can also delete the task by selecting the delete button. User task को delete भी कर सकता है। And also, when user select add new task option, a new task is added with a default name. Okay, like जैसे यूजर एक न्यू टास्क और एड न्यू टास्क ऑप्शन को क्लिक करता है, एक नया टास्क ऐड हो जाना चाहिए विथ अ डिफॉल्ट नेम। ओके, and now user can edit board name and ops. Okay, board name and actually user can edit the board description as well. Okay, so user board name और board description को भी edit कर सके. Okay, next one we have when user first visit the app, a new board with a unique ID is created and saved to the database, or alternately a board is created after user make the first changes. Okay, so I like this is the an important point. As you can see, जैसे ही user हमारे application को first type, yeah, hi gamer boy, first of all welcome to my channel. Okay, so आज के हम like इस लाइव स्ट्रीम में हम एक माई टास्क बोर्ड एप्लीकेशन को क्रिएट करेंगे. दिस इज अ काइंड ऑफ फुल स्टैक प्रोजेक्ट. ओके, सो like for today live stream our aim is to create this kind of application. Okay, like it's a kind of you can consider a to-do list kind of application. Okay, जहाँ like इस application पर हमारे पास एक बोर्ड होगा, यू कैन सेट अ टास्क बोर्ड जिसमें मल्टीपल टास्क हम असाइन कर सकते हैं. ओके, एंड आल्सो वी कैन एडिट द ईच टास्क एज वेल, लाइक हम टास्क का नाम, उसका स्टेटस, डिस्क्रिप्शन, ओके, एंड आइकन को एडिट भी कर सकते हैं और उसे डिलीट भी कर सकते हैं. या यू आर राइट, इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ टू डू लिस्ट काइंड एप्लीकेशन. ओके, so but it will not limited to only फ्रंट एंड. ओके, सो हम इसमें बैकएंड को भी इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे. विल सी हाउ वी कैन लाइक persist our to do by with the help of database as well. Okay, and now like you can see these are the story point जो कि हमें नीचे दिया हुआ है. लाइक हमारा प्रोजेक्ट जो है वो इन सभी स्टोरी पॉइंट को फुलफिल करना चाहिए in order to submit this challenge. Okay, so I hope okay you have got an idea कि हमारा एप्लीकेशन कैसे बिहेव करेगा. ओके, नाउ लेट्स से कि हम इस एप्लीकेशन को क्रिएट करने के लिए okay, कौन कौन से टेक्नोलॉजीज और जैसे लाइब्रेरी और फ्रेमवर्क का यूज करेंगे. ओके, एंड आल्सो हाउ वी कैन कनेक्ट अ डाटाबेस एज वेल. ओके, तो सबसे पहले हम जैसे अपने यूआई को क्रिएट करने के लिए जो जिस भी फ्रेमवर्क का यूज करेंगे उसके बारे में बात कर लेते हैं. ओके, तो आज के लाइक इस प्रोजेक्ट को क्रिएट करने के लिए हम रेमिक्स फ्रेमवर्क का यूज करेंगे. ओके, like remix या एक full stack, you can consider it as a full stack project. Okay, thank you for the subscription. Okay, subscription, thank you. Now you can see like to create the user interface, or you can say to create the website. Okay, we'll use remix framework. Like it's a framework which built on the top of React. Okay, so if you know about React, then you won't feel any issue, okay, to create a project in this remix. Okay, like for me also this is a first time like where I am creating a project on remix. Okay, doing from scratch. Yeah, I will create this project from scratch. Okay, so to create a let's say front end or UI, we'll use remix, and remix also provide to write the server side logic. Like we can create, we don't need to create backend externally. हमें अलग से कोई backend server create करने की जरूरत नहीं है. remix में ही हमें front end और backend के like front end को भी create कर सकते हैं as well as we can create our backend as well. Okay, and also in order to connect with our database, we'll use Prisma ORM. Okay, so I hope you are aware about this Prisma. Okay, so like these are the tech stack which we are going to use React and Expressor. Okay, I can use React and Expressor. Like I have decided to create with Remix. Okay, but okay, so if you want me to create with React, I can do it. Okay, so let's do with React only. Okay, first of all, gamer work. I just want to know कि आप React में बिगिनर है या ऑलरेडी आप में लाइक React के साथ आपका कुछ एक्सपीरियंस है? Okay, just let me know your thought. Look, gamer work, are you there? Why I'm asking this question now? Like यदि आपके पास React का कुछ एक्सपीरियंस है, okay, then I can proceed with Remix also because Remix भी React के ऊपर ही बना है. Like उसमें यहाँ similar kind of syntax आपको मिलेंगे, okay, and also Remix use the Express server as well, okay. Like Remix जो की मदद से हम जो सर्वर क्रिएट करेंगे वो भी Express के ऊपर ही बना होगा, okay, so you won't see any syntax difference as well. Okay, the reason why I have choose Remix okay, for today because Remix के साथ हम we can see how we can create a full stack kind of project with the help of only a single framework Remix. Okay, so like it's also a very popular framework library. So that's why I decided to proceed with Remix. Okay, but if you are a beginner at React and Express, okay, then I will go with React only, okay, so that you can understood in a better way because at the end my goal is to you should understand the code and logic everything whatever I will do you should understand. So just let me know your okay answer कि क्या आप React और Express में जैसे बिगिनर है या आपके पास ऑलरेडी कोई एक्सपीरियंस है? Okay. And also guys जिन्होंने अभी जस्ट अभी मेरे चैनल को लाइक पहली बार मेरे चैनल पर विजिट कर रहे हैं और उन्होंने अभी तक इसे सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो प्लीज मेक श्योर टू सब्सक्राइब इट एज वेल ओके एंड आल्सो इस स्ट्रीम को भी लाइक जरूर कर दीजिएगा जिससे ये ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को शेयर हो लाइक आई हैवंट गॉट योर आंसर ओके and also guys for you guys okay what do you want should I proceed with remix or should I create this project by using React and Express ओके आपका क्या थॉट है आप मुझे चैट में ज़रूर बता सकते हैं ओके सो उसके आधार से मैं डिसाइड कर सकता हूँ कि मैं रिमिक्स में इस प्रोजेक्ट को क्रिएट करूँ या रिएक्ट एंड एक्सप्रेस में okay if you want me to create with React okay let's proceed with React only okay okay we will see okay remix later also okay we can see like how we can create this project in remix also okay we can see in later or you can say in next live stream okay so for today I will use React only okay so let's do it okay so React के साथ में like React को initialize करने के लिए I will use let's say weight or white okay whatever you can pronounce it okay so I will use this front end tooling library okay so I hope you are aware with this okay what is weight white okay so what I will do I will initialize my React application with wait. Okay. So what I will do here, I will click on this get started button. Get started with white. Okay. Then I will scroll a little bit. Okay. So just scroll down, and here you can see the command to scaffold our first white project. Okay. How we can scaffold. Okay. So initialize our project now. We only need to copy this command. Okay. We can use this npm create white latest. हम रिएक्ट को npx के साथ भी क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, but why I have choose front let's say white because it's a lighter. Okay, it will only install those necessary package which is required. Okay, so that's why I choose to install my React application with white framework. Okay, so let's copy this. Okay, now what I will do, अपने फोल्डर को ओपन करता हूँ, जैसे फाइल मैनेजर को, और अपने डिजायर लोकेशन पर चलते हैं जहाँ पर हम अपने प्रोजेक्ट को क्रिएट करना है. ओके, सो आई विल गो टू डेस्कटॉप, देन आई विल स्क्रॉल लिटिल बिट, देन आई विल गो टू वाईटी प्रोजेक्ट्स. ओके, एंड यहाँ पर हम एक नया फोल्डर को क्रिएट करेंगे. लेट्स से आई विल गिव नेम एज व्हाट वी कैन से टास्क बोर्ड. ओके, and then what I will do, I will open this what you can say the folder. Okay, और यहाँ पर हम एक नया फोल्डर को क्रिएट करते हैं. ओके ओके या गेमर हुआ, आई विल ट्राई टू कीप इट फास्ट. देन यहाँ पर हम जैसे फोल्डर का नाम लिखते हैं क्लाइंट. ओके, सिंस वी आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट अ क्लाइंट हियर, एंड नाउ व्हाट आई विल डू, I will open this folder inside my VS Code editor. Okay, so I will select open with code option. Okay, so as you can see, okay, we are inside our VS Code editor. Okay, so सबसे पहले हमें टर्मिनल ओपन करना होगा. Okay, so there are multiple ways to open terminal inside a VS Code editor. Okay, I will go choose like terminal and then new terminal option like this. So it will open a new terminal. ओके, एंड यहाँ पर हमने जो अपने कमांड को कॉपी किया है उसे पेस्ट करेंगे, एंड आफ्टर दिस कमांड आई विल प्रेस द डॉट सिंबल. ओके, लाइक दिस विल इंश्योर कि हमारे इस डायरेक्टरी के अंदर कोई नया डायरेक्टरी क्रिएट ना हो, और जो भी हमारा पैकेजेस है वो सेम क्लाइंट डायरेक्टरी में इंस्टॉल हो. ओके, नाउ we need to select a framework. Okay, so let's select, I will choose React. Okay, then we need to select a variant. Okay, so variant I will choose JavaScript. Okay, so now it's done. So now we need to install the packages, npm package. So for that I will write command as npm install. So just wait for some time, guys, like it will install the necessary dependency, okay, into our project. Yeah, you can say project also. Okay, so as you can see, guys, dependency successfully installed हो चुका है. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, so if I open my client directory, you can see I have the React installed here. Okay, like we have the node modules public and SRC folder. and the package JSON. Okay, so now what I will do, I will run my, let's say, React application first. Okay, so to run it, I can run, okay, I can write a command as npm run dev. Okay, so this will run my project on my local. So as you can see, it's running on localhost colon 5.73. Like 5.73 is the port number. Okay, so to visualize it, I can let's simply do the control plus click on the URL. Then it will open my website on my default web browser. Okay, and here you can see my React application is running. Okay, now let's see the design. Okay, like how our project should look like, and we'll try to design it. Okay, so I will click on this continue challenge button. Okay, so here you can see the pages. यहाँ में कौन कौन से पेज कितने आवर्स तक स्ट्रीम होगा सर. So I will try to create the whole project in a one step because it's not a too big project. Okay, हमें सिर्फ एक to-do list kind of application बनाना है. Okay, so I will try to make it short as well. So I, but तभी लगभग आई थिंक या 1 या 1.5 घंटे का टाइम तो लग सकता है इसमें क्रिएट करने में. Okay, so now you can see the pages as well. Okay, so हमें कौन कौन से पेज को क्रिएट करना है. You can see the default board page and the task edit page as well. Okay, so this we need to create these two pages. Okay, so now here you can see the description. It's the same like we have already did it. Here you can see the resources, so you can download the resources, okay, which is required to create this project. Okay, then we'll have the grade. Okay, typography, हमें कौन कौन सा font family को use करना है. We can see from here colors and the content as well. Okay, and also let's say in order to create a UI, okay, we'll use Tailwind. Okay, so we need to set up Tailwind CSS also into our VS Code editor. Okay, so for that what I will do, I will go to Tailwind CSS official site. उसके ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट पे जाते हैं, यहाँ गेट स्टार्टेड बटन पर क्लिक करते हैं. ओके, एंड नाउ वी नीड टू इंस्टॉल टेलविन. सो टेलविन को इंस्टॉल करने से पहले जैसे फर्स्ट वी नीड टू सेलेक्ट आवर फ्रेमवर्क. ओके, so here you can see since we have used white, so I will select this white framework. Okay, now let's see the steps. Okay, to set up our tailwind, सबसे पहला स्टेप है क्रिएट योर प्रोजेक्ट, जो कि हमने ऑलरेडी कंप्लीट कर लिया है, तो वी डोंट नीड टू डू इट अगेन. नेक्स्ट स्टेप में हमें tailwind css को इंस्टॉल करना है. Okay, so what I will do, I will copy this command. Okay, so what it will do, it will install Tailwind CSS, post CSS, and auto prefixer as a dev dependency into our project, and also it will generate, okay, the Tailwind config.js and post css.config.js file. Okay, so I have copied that link, sorry, not link, command. Again I will go to my terminal, clear it. Okay, और यहाँ पर हम इसे पेस्ट करते हैं अपने कमांड को. Okay, now let's click on this enter button. Okay, so just wait for some time guys until it install the dependencies. Okay, so as you can see, dependency successfully installed हो चुका है, and also it created the tailwind.config.js and postcss.config.js file, which you can see here. Okay, now let's clear the terminal. Okay, now let's see the next step. So next step में हमें let's say हमें अपने template parts को configure करना होगा. Okay, so what we can do, we can copy this code. Okay, and then we can go to tailwind.config.js file. Okay, तो यहाँ पर हम अपने copied किए हुए कोड को यहाँ replace कर देंगे. Okay, that's it. Now let's see the next step. So next step में what we need to do, we need to add the Tailwind directory to our CSS file, which will be our main CSS file. Okay, so we don't need to add at like every CSS file. Okay, जो भी हमारा main CSS file होगा उसमें हम इस directory को add करेंगे. Okay, so what I will do, I will copy this command. Okay, I will go to, let's say, under src, I will go to index.css. Okay, here you can say I have some let's say predefined CSS code, okay, which we don't need it. So what I will do, I will do Control A and then Control V to replace this code. Okay, and also I will delete this app.css because we don't need it. Okay, so it's done. Now let's go to app.jsx. Okay, here you can say we have some default JSX code, okay, which provided by White. Okay, we will remove that as well. Okay, now you can say to test like whether sorry at step 5 you can say we need to run our, let's say we need to build our project. Okay, and to build our project we need to run npm run there. Okay, but before running it, what we will do, we'll copy our like this code to test whether our Tailwind CSS सक्सेसफुली इंस्टॉल हुआ है या नहीं, हम इसे टेस्ट करेंगे. Okay, so what I will do here, so first I will do, let's say, Control A और हम सब app.js के सारे कोड को डिलीट करते हैं. Okay, and we'll again regenerate our React arrow, okay, function component like this. Okay, और यहाँ पर हम अपने div को सिर्फ रिप्लेस करेंगे with our copied code. Okay, now let's save it. Again I will open my terminal and run npm run dev to run my project. Okay, so let's see कि हमें ब्राउजर पर हमें क्या दिखता है. Because I will go to our browser. Okay, just wait until it refresh. Now you can see I have the style and let's say h1 tag. Like you can say font weight is also bold and it has the underline. Okay, so as you can see I have applied some Tailwind CSS class name, okay, which is working here. Okay, so that means our Tailwind CSS is working fine. Now let's start designing our project. Okay, so first let's see how we can design. Okay, so first let's see the user story because we need to fulfill all our user stories. Okay, so first we need to create a simple task management application, okay, following the given design, and by default it should have a board with 4 tasks like design. Okay, so now we need to create this kind of design into our project. Okay, so now let's do it. सबसे पहले हम app.jsx में आते हैं. Okay, so let's first let's divide this UI. So at top you can see we have the header, and below this header we are showing our task. Okay, so what we can do, we can create let's say a component called header. Okay, so सबसे पहले हम एक separate component को create करते हैं in, let's say, into, sorry, not into, inside our src directories. I will create a component folder like this. Okay, and inside it I will create a header dot, let's say, jsx. Okay, and now again I will generate our React arrow function export component. Okay, by this code snippet like RAFCE. Okay, now let's go to app.jsx and यहाँ पर हम अपने header component को call करेंगे. Okay, so first I will create a div here. Okay, and inside this div I will create a header. Sorry, I will call this. Make sure it should import from the correct path. Okay, so done. Okay, and what I will do, I will open this into a new window. Okay, so that we can navigate easily. So here you can see we have our header component. Okay, now let's design it so that it should look like this. Okay. I think we need to change the typography as well. Yeah, you can see we need to use this outfit font family. Okay, so first let's change the font family. Okay, then we'll try to create this kind of widget. Okay, so what I will do, I will click on this link. Okay, and here what I will do, I think I have already added this font family to my cart. ओके बट यदि आपने ऑलरेडी आप में ऐड नहीं हुआ तो यहाँ पर आपको गेट का बटन दिखेगा यू कैन क्लिक ऑन दिस हियर आई विल क्लिक ऑन दिस माय कार्ट क्योंकि मेरे में फॉन्ट फैमिली ऑलरेडी एडेड है ओके सो यू कैन सी ओके आउटफिट ऑलरेडी एडेड है यहाँ पर मुझे गेट एम्बेडेड कोड बटन पर क्लिक करना है so that I can pick the code. Okay, so here you can say we have different options. Okay, how we can import this font family. Let's focus on font later at end. First, you can do the functionality part. Okay, yeah, but it won't well done quite quickly. Here, we just need to copy this. Okay, and what we'll do, we can go to our index.html page, and here I will paste our link. Okay, like this, and also we can change our page. Let me say put title. So let's give the title as let's say task photo. Okay, so it's done. Now let's go to app.csx. Okay, and here I will target my body. Okay, now let's specify the font family. So font family will be, let's say, outfit. Yeah, I think so too. And then if this font family is not supported, then I will use sans serif. So it's done. Okay. Now if we go to our, like you can see the font family has been changed. Okay. So now let's design it properly. So I will go to my header. Okay, and one more thing guys. Okay, मैंने already images you can say let's go to our design. Okay, so here you can say we need to use some icon. Okay, in order to create our project. Okay, so I have already created one assist folder on my desktop. I think should be here. Okay, okay, my bad. I think it's not there. Just give me a second guys. I have already like stored this assist file. Okay, here you can say we have this assist. Okay, we need to use this assist. So what I will do, I will copy all these images. Okay, हम सारे इमेज को कॉपी करते हैं. Okay, and what we'll do, we'll go to our project location. Okay, and inside our client I will go to our let's say public directory. Okay, यहाँ पर एक नया folder create करते हैं. So I will name it as assist like this. Okay, and I will paste our all the why it's not paste. Okay, I think it has not been copied. Let's again copy it. Control A. Okay, copy all these images. Okay, now go to our full stack project. Not my bad. Yeah, YT project dashboard client public and assist, and now right click here and paste all that images. Okay, now you can say we have all the images. Now we can close our file explorer. Okay, and now if you open my public, okay, if you open the public directory, here you can say हमारे पास सारे images हैं. So let's add this image first, okay, which is a logo. So what I will do, okay, I will create let's say two div inside our parent div, okay, and I will give the let's say class name as flex only. Okay. Now inside this div, okay, first here you can see we need to show our images. Okay, so let's show the image. So image and let's src. So src will be logo. So I will write assets slash logo dot svg. Okay, and if I do it, you can see we have that logo. Okay, now after this logo, we need to show our task code header. Okay, so which will I will show inside our second div. Okay, so let's show. Okay, so first I will create one h1 tag. Okay, let's my task board. Okay, so my task board. Okay, like this. And one more thing, guys. I think it has one icon as well. Okay, so let's say okay, we can create a div here. make div create करते हैं. Inside this div, I will create my h1. Then I will show my image. Okay, and I think the image will be I think this one. Edit due tone. Yeah, I think it's the same image. So let's show it. So again, I will write assist slash okay, and I will write edit underscore due tone dot svg. Okay, now let's go. You can see we have that uh, my taskboard title and the image edit image also. Okay, now below this div, I will create my one paragraph. Okay, and I will write the content as task to keep organized. Okay, and we don't need to write it. We can copy it from here as well. So I will copy the content. Okay, and I will paste here. Just style it as well. Here also I will apply class name as let's say flex. Okay, and I'll just give some gap. Give the gap as one only. Okay, so now let's see how it will look. Okay, you can see it looking like this. Okay, and here also let's provide some gap as well. So let's give it gap 2. Let's increase the font size. Okay, so let's see how much font size we can give. We need to give the font size for the title as 40 px. Okay, so let's see. So here I will write text, then hyphen. Let's see which font family, sorry, font size we can give. Font XL, you can say it is equal to 20 px. So we need to give bigger to it. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think we can give font or text for XL. So which look close to our as given in the design. Okay, now you can see here it's my task board. And now let's say description. For description, it should be of 16 px, which is fine. Okay, we don't need to change it. Okay, now we need to make it center. Okay, so let's see how we can make it. So for that, we'll go to our app.jsx. Okay, and here only we'll write some class name. Let's say w. Okay, let's give the you can say width as 60 px. Okay, so let's say how so not 60 px, 60% I want to give. Okay, so for that, yeah, I think 2 by 3 will work fine. And also let's give margin as auto so that it should show to the center. Let's reduce this. Let's give the width as 1 by 2. Okay, now we can say it's look come to center. Okay, now let's give some margin from top as 6. Okay, so that it should have some space from top. Okay, and then here I will add some property. Let's say flex. Okay, and then justify and center. Okay, now you can say I think it's looking fine. It's done. Now below this header, okay, we need to show our task. Okay, but what I want, guys, I will show our task from backend. I want to show like this task from backend. Okay, what what do I mean by backend? मतलब हम जो भी अपने टास्क को क्रिएट करेंगे, okay, here first we will only show an add new task button. Okay, जैसे ही यूजर एड न्यू टास्क बटन पर क्लिक करेगा, एक नया टास्क क्रिएट होगा। ओके, और जो हमारे डाटाबेस में भी सेव होगा, and then we will show that task here in .ui. Okay, so let's show first our, let's say, add new task button, and okay, then we'll create our backend. Okay, in order to create our task. Okay, so let's do it. So below this header, okay, so again I will create a new component. So inside the src, okay, and inside component, okay, I will create a, let's say, add task button. So I will write add task.csx. okay, और यहाँ पर हम लिखते हैं RAFC. okay, जिससे कि आपने रिएक्ट कंपोनेंट को जनरेट कर सके. Okay, now let's, okay, first what I will do, I will call this add task component here. Okay, so that it should show to our design. Oh yeah, here you can say it's visual, but you can say it's coming to side by side, because I have given the flex to our parent div. Okay, तो हम इस flex के, let's say, डायरेक्शन को चेंज कर सकते हैं. So we'll give, let's say, flex column. Okay, to change the flex direction. Okay, क्योंकि by default इसका जो डायरेक्शन होता है वो रो होता है, और हम रो से कॉलम चेंज करना चाहते हैं. Okay, so you can say it's looking like this. And also here, once we have changed the direction, okay, then we need to modify our justify center as well. Okay, here instead of justify center, I will write item center. Okay, done. Now let's give some gap as well. So here I will give gap as 4. Okay, now let's go to our add task. Now let's see how it will look. First, we need to show an icon, plus icon, then add new task text. Okay, so let's try create it. So inside this div, I will create, let's say, a div. Okay, and inside this div, I will show an image. Okay, so now let's see which image we can show. We'll again open my public directory. Okay, and inside the public directory, okay, we have the assets folder, and let's say which for, let's say, icon we can use. I think let's see first this add round. So I will preview this SVG. Okay, I think it's similar to it. Yeah, we can use this add round duotone.svg image. Okay, so just provide the path. So path will be assist slash add underscore round underscore duotone.svg. Okay, let's add. So let's save it. Now below this div, I will create one paragraph. Okay, and I will add a label as add new task. Okay, like this. Now let's see how it's looking to our design. Okay, you can see we are getting add new task, but our icon is not visible here. But I think it's because of जैसा क्योंकि हमारा आइकन का जो कलर है वो वाइट है एंड सिंस हमारा जो बैकग्राउंड कलर है वो भी वाइट है so that's why we can't see. But let's say once I select it now, you can say there's an item or you can say an element is there. That means we have our icon. Just style our, let's say, add task button so that it should look like this. Okay, so for that what I will do, first here I will apply a class name as flags. Okay, and then here let's keep some gap. Let's say gap as 4. Okay, gap for 4 देते हैं. And also we need to change the background color. Let's say कि हम कौन सा background use कर सकते हैं. So to give the background color, we can select this color option and we can choose from here. And I think it's this one is the background color. Okay. So मैं इसे copy करता हूँ color code को and I will come here and here I will give background color. So for that I will add PG then a square bracket since we need to provide a, let's say, dynamic color code. Okay, or we need to enter a manually. Okay, we are not taking from Tailwind CSS. Okay, so for that we can use PG and then square bracket and here we can write our color code. Now if I go to our, let's say, browser, you can say it's looking like this. Okay. Now let's give some padding. Padding I guess let's say px and let's give it 4 and py I will give it as 6. Okay, so let's go with opposites. Now I think it will look fine. Yes, we just need to give some rounded corner. So for that I will do rounded and then let's say large. Okay, so if I do it, you can say I have a rounded corner as well. Okay, I think I need to increase the width as well. Okay, so for that what I will do, I will give, let's say, W full. Okay, now you can say it. I think it's looking fine. Okay, what do you say, guys? How it's looking? I guess it's looking fine. Do I need to reduce the width? Okay, now let's style that image or icon image as well. Here also we need to give some background color to this icon. So I think it's this one. So मैं इसे copy करता हूँ. Again I will go to our VS Code. Class name apply करते हैं. Again BG square bracket. Okay, then hash. Then our color code. Okay, here also we need to give some padding. So let's give us, let's say, P4. Okay, from all side. Okay, padding from all side and then rounded. Okay, and again here I will give rounded MD. Okay, now you can see it's looking like this. I think we need to increase the our image width as well. Okay, and I need to make this add new task so it should show to the center. Okay, so for that what I will do, I will write items center. Okay, so it will come to the center. Let's increase the icon width as well. Okay, so for that what I will do, I will come here and write a class name, say w hyphen, let's say 6 and h hyphen 6 as well. Okay, I think let's increase the from 6 to, let's say, 12. Oh, it's too big. Let's decrease it little bit. Let's, instead of 12, let's give 10. Okay, now I guess it's fine. Okay, just increase the, let's say what you can say, the text size, and I think we need to change the weight also. Let's apply this class name as well. For that, I would like, let's say text Excel. Okay, let's see the typography for this button text. Yeah, I think this is the font family. Okay, so 14 px. Okay, we only need to increase that, what you can say, the font weight. Okay, so let's give as text Excel, then font, let's say medium. Let's give semicolon. Okay, now I guess it's looking fine. Okay, and it's looking some accurate to our given design as well. Okay, so that's it, guys. Now what I want, once I click on this button, it should create a new task which will be should be visible to above this button. Okay, so now let's create it. Okay, here I want to apply one cursor pointer. So now it's time to create our server. Okay, so to create our server, again I will go to my, let's say, file explorer. Okay, then I will go to my, let's say, folder where I have created my project. So it's a task code. Okay, so यहाँ पर हम एक नया folder create करते हैं. I will name it as server, and also I will open it in a separate VS Code editor. Okay, so again I will choose open with code option. So let's maximize this. Okay, so to create our server, what I will do, again I will open my terminal first. Okay, new terminal. Okay, okay, so first of all we need to generate our package.json file. Okay, so for that I will write command as npm init -y. Okay, so it will generate the package.json file, okay, into our directory. So now you can say it's generated, and if I open my explorer, you can say I have the package.json. Okay, and which will have this kind of code. Okay, so now let's say we need to install some packages as well. Okay, so the package which we are going to need, first we need to install nodemon. Okay, and I will install it as a dev dependencies. Okay, so let's install it. So nodemon what it will do, यह हमारे सर्वर को क्या करता है, रन करते रहता है. जैसे कि हम कोई भी चेंजेस करते हैं अपने एप्लीकेशन में, बैकएंड सर्वर में, तो चेंजेस को, ओके, वो क्या करता है, सेव करता है, एंड अगेन हमारे चेंजेस के बेसिस पर हमारे सर्वर को रीरन करता है. ओके, यदि हम नोडमॉन को नहीं रन करते हैं तो हमें, जैसे यदि कोई भी नया चेंजेस करते हैं तो उसके बाद हम अपने सर्वर को फिर से क्लोज करके रीरन करना होता है मैनुअली. और नोडमॉन क्या होता है, मैनुअली करने की जरूरत नहीं है. ओके, सो ओके, नोडमॉन की बात. ओके, वी नीड टू इंस्टॉल, लेट्स से, एक्सप्रेस. ओके, course and .env and mongoose. Okay, so we need these packages. Okay, express server को create करने के लिए, course we need to resolve the course error. Okay, .env, जिससे कि हमें, let's say, environment वेरिएबल में जो भी क्रेडेंशियल को हम स्टोर करें उसको हम एक्सेस कर पाए. एंड mongoose to connect our server with MongoDB database. Okay, so let's install these packages. Meanwhile, guys, ओके, यदि आपके पास अभी कोई क्वेरी है या कोई सजेशन है, आप मुझे चैट में पूछ सकते हैं। और यू कैन आल्सो मेंशन कि जो भी मैं आपको कॉन्सेप्ट एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ वो आपको समझ में आ रहा है या नहीं। ओके, सो हियर यू कैन से packages install हो चुका है। Now let's create our server। Okay, so for that what I will do, here you can say we need to create a new file, JS file. So I will name it as index.js, okay, or you can name it as server.js as well। Okay, it's all up to you कि आप क्या नाम देना चाहते हैं। Okay, so like this, inside our index.js we will create our server। Okay, but before we need to create some script जिससे कि हम अपने index.js फाइल को रन कर पाए। Okay, so for that I will come here and I will create a start script, and I will write node index.js, and one more let's say script which I will create will be a dev, and it will be a node mod index.js, okay, like this। Let's save it। Okay, now let's create our server first। So सबसे पहले हम एक्सप्रेस को इंपोर्ट करते हैं। So how we can import our express? Okay, so we write const express। Okay, I think I have already created a code snippet, okay, which will generate this let's say code snippet, okay, but let's create a manually। Okay, so const express is equal to required, like this express। Now let's say const app equal to express, okay, and I will run our express like this। Okay, and here I will write app dot listen, okay, so that our server, here we need to specify our port, okay, so to get our port I will write, let's say const port equal to process.env.port, okay, or we can use, let's say 3001, okay। So here, if our port is in our environment variable, it will take from there, okay, otherwise if there is no port inside our environment, so it will take 3001, okay। So यहाँ पर हम लिखते हैं port, okay, and then I will create a callback function, and here I will simply write a console message, let's say server is running on port, okay, and I will show the port as well। Okay, now let's run our server। So server को run करने के लिए we'll write command as npm run dev। Okay, as you can see the package.json में दो script create किए थे, start and dev। So we can use anyone, we can use either start or dev। Okay, so since we want to start our let's say index.js, or we want to run our server with node 1, that's why I will use npm run dev command। Okay, so here I will click enter button, let's say what happened। Let's do control C, I think there was some error। Okay, let's see npm run dev। Okay, as you can see server is running on port 3001। Okay, so we successfully created our server। Okay, now we need to connect our server with database। Okay, so for that what I will do, I will create a new folder called config। Okay, and then inside that config I will create a db.js file। Okay, जहाँ पर हम database का connection को persist करेंगे, अगर database से connect करेंगे। Okay, first we need to install, let's say connect module। Okay, and it will be installed from mongoose। like this, and here I will create, let's say, const connection equal to connect, and inside our connect we need to mention our MongoDB database connection URL. Okay, so we can use let's say our local MongoDB, or we can use deployed MongoDB, which is Atlas. Okay, so for our project I want to use MongoDB Atlas. Okay, so for that what I will do, I will go to our browser. Okay, now I will go to mongodb.com. Okay, so that we can take our database connection string from there. So let's go to MongoDB official site, so which is mongodb.com. Okay, और यहाँ पर हमें सबसे पहले साइन इन करना होगा. So I will click on this sign in button. Okay, first we need to select our, let's say, account, or you can say signing provider. I will choose Google and choose my account. Okay, so as you can see, it's loaded our project. Okay, so here we can choose our existing project, or if we want to create a new project we can do. Okay, since मैं कोई एक नया प्रोजेक्ट क्रिएट नहीं करना चाहता, मैंने ऑलरेडी एक नया एक डाटाबेस क्रिएट किया हुआ है और मैं सेम उस डाटाबेस को यूज करूंगा. ओके, बट आई बिफोर गेटिंग द कनेक्शन स्ट्रिंग, ओके, मैं आपको डाटाबेस शो करना चाहता हूँ जो मैं यूज करना चाहूँगा. So for that, I will scroll little bit, okay, to this overview page, and here you can see we have a browse collection button. I will click on this button. तो जैसे आप इस बटन पर क्लिक करेंगे, it will show you a list of let's say connection collection inside your database. Okay, it will show all the database as well. Like आप एक प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर मल्टीपल डाटाबेस को क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. ओके, जस्ट का केस कि आप एक प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर एक ही डाटाबेस को क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, आप मल्टीपल डाटाबेस को क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. एंड इफ आई शो यू, यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं मैंने ऑलरेडी मल्टीपल डाटाबेस को क्रिएट किया हुआ है इनसाइड आवर प्रोजेक्ट 0. ओके, so for my, okay, let's say project, I want to use this task board. Okay, and inside the task board you can say there's two collection. The first one is task and the second one is task board. Okay, since I want to delete all this data, okay, and I will let's say recreate it. So for that what I will do, let's say I will click on this delete button, because since I want to delete this database, and here I will click sorry, write task board. Okay, I hope you are getting my point कि हम इस database को क्यों delete कर रहे हैं. But if you are not understanding कि हम इस database को क्यों delete कर रहे हैं, you can ask me. Okay, I think I have already told you why I am deleting it. Okay, since I have deleted my database, now what I can do, I can go to our overview page. Okay, now I can click on this connect button. Okay, now I will click on this driver. Okay, so if we scroll down, you can see we have the our database connection string. So what I will do, I will copy this. Okay, I can close this. Okay, but let it open. Okay, since we want to show the, you can say, data also कि जो भी डाटा हम अपने सर्वर से पुश कर रहे हैं वो डाटा सक्सेसफुली ऐड हो रहा है या नहीं, डाटाबेस में पुश हो रहा है या नहीं. और आई थिंक आई ऑलरेडी हैव द कंपास, so we can close this. Okay, let's close it. Yeah. Alright. So now inside our server, okay, what I will do, I will create a new file called environment, so .env. Okay, and यहाँ पर हम लिखते हैं एक नया वेरिएबल क्रिएट करते हैं which is a database URL, and it will be equal to our connection string. Okay, and here we need to change our database password as well. So let's change it. So it's done. Now I will go to our DB config. Okay, so here first we need to import our .env, so that this, like, this file should have access to .env file. Okay, so for that, what I will do, I will write require .env, okay, and then config. So inside config, if we have some configuration, we can mention it, but I don't have any configuration, so I can leave it as a empty parenthesis. Okay, and inside let's say connect, can write process.env dot database, okay, underscore URL. That's it. And we need to export it also, so I will not like this. We need to write module, since we are using a common JS file, okay, so that we can export it like this, module dot exports, and here we can write connection. That's it. Save it. Now let's go to our index.js. Okay, first we need to import our connection. So here I will not like this. Const. Okay, I always forgot here common JS file यहाँ use करें. Okay, so that's why import won't work here. Okay, so here I will write const, let's say connection will be equal to require, require, and then we need to mention our path. So it will be dot slash config slash db. Okay, and inside our, let's say, this callback function, like inside our app dot listen. Okay, here you can say we have a callback function. Okay, so inside that callback function we can call our connection. Okay, so for that, what I will do, first I will cut this console.log and I will open a try catch block, and I want to make this callback function to be asynchronous. So I will write async keyword before this callback. Okay, and here I will write await and then connection. Okay, we don't need to call because it's not a, you can say, a function. Okay, we only need to write like this, and below it we can write our console.log. Okay, so here you can write a console message like successfully connected, okay, with database. Okay, that's it. And in the catch block you can write, let's say, console.log. Okay, you can write message that database connection failed. Okay, and also we'll console our error, okay, so that we can see the reason why our database connection failed. Okay, and here we can write our console, okay, for indicating that our server is running. Okay, that's it. Now if I open our, let's say, terminal, okay, since I am using a node 1, so I don't need to let's say close our application and rerun it. Okay, so node 1 itself will fetch, like there is a changes, so it will rerun our server. Okay, so here you can say I got a message called successfully connected with database. Okay, so that means our, let's say, application, not application, our server is able to connect with database. Okay, so I think till here, if you have any query, guys, okay, you can ask me. Okay, but if you don't ask, I will assume, like, I think you are getting everything and you don't have any query. लेकिन यदि आपको कहीं पर भी कोई क्वेरी है तो you can ask me in the chat. Okay, I continuously watch the chat section. Okay. So now after creating our, let's say after made the connection to our database, first we need to before making any query, we need to create a schema. Okay, it's like we need to define the schema for our task. Okay, since MongoDB is, let's say, we can say, नॉन रिलेशनशिप डाटाबेस। ओके, सो जहाँ पर हम जैसे हम अपने डाटा को एज अ की वैल्यू पेयर एज एन ऑब्जेक्ट फॉर्म स्टोर कर सकते हैं। तो इसके लिए हमें कोई जैसे कोई स्कीमा डिफाइन करने की पहले जरूरत नहीं होती है, जैसे कि हम एसक्यूएल डाटाबेस में करते हैं सिक्वलाइज। ओके, बट स्टिल we want to persist our database so that we can avoid some error due to data mismatch. Okay, so that we need to define some schema. Okay, so now let's see whatever like type of schema we need to store to our database. Okay, for task. Okay, first, like you can see, we need to store that obviously task title. Okay, and then some tasks can have the description as well, so we need to create one description key. Then we need to store that you can say icon. So in our case we can store that icon name. Okay, so we will get the icon name directly from the database, and whatever the icon name we'll get, sorry guys, whatever the icon name we'll get, we'll go to our, let's say, client. Okay, and we will show that icon. Okay, so we need title, we need description, we need icon, and also we need status. Okay, here you can say like this icon is indicating like it's in progress. Okay, यदि कोई हमारा टास्क कंप्लीटेड है उसके लिए हम टिक आइकन शो करेंगे. Okay, और यदि if we don't want to do any task, if it's label as task we want to do, then we need to show with this icon, just a cross. Okay, I hope you are getting कि हमारा टास्क का स्कीमा क्या हो सकता है. Okay, so let's create that. So for that, what I will do, I will go to our server. Okay, and then here I will create a new folder. I will name it as models. Okay, and I will create a new model, name it task.model.js. Okay, so we will define our model schema here. Okay, first I will import mongoose. Okay, so const mongoose equal to require mongoose. Okay, now first define the schema. So for that I will write, let's say, const task schema, which will equal to new mongoose dot schema. Okay, so it will take an object, okay, as the argument. So let's define our task schema. First, it will have a title. Okay, type of this title will be a string. I think it will be with capital S. Yeah. Now it will have a description. Okay, and type of this description will be a string. Okay, and I think this description will be an optional. Yeah, I think it will, by default it will be optional. Okay, if we need to make any field as required, then we need to specify. Let's, you can say, for every task we want, like it should have a title. Okay, unless like यदि हमारे टास्क में टाइटल कुछ नहीं चाहिए, we want to make it as a required, the value as an object as also. Okay, and here I will mention as a type. So type will be a string. Okay, and here I will write required, and it will be a required field. So here I will write required true, like this. If what I want define it, so it will install. I like whatever type I will write, it will install like it should have this type, but it can be an optional as well. Okay, so I hope you understood how we can define our required field as well. Okay, so apart from this title and description, okay, it has one image path as well. So image bar or let's say icon. Okay, so icon, the type of this, it will be also a string, and it's also required. So here I will write required as true. Okay, and last it will have a status. Okay, so every let's say task would have at least a status. Okay, so let's define the status. The type of this status will be a string. Okay, and also it will be a required field. So here I will write required as true. Let's save it. So as you can see, we have defined the task schema. Okay, now below it we need to create our model. So for that I will write const, let's say task model, which will be equal to, let's say, mongoose dot model. Okay, here first we need to, mention our schema. Okay, you can see we need to mention our schema. So okay, sorry, my bad. Before mentioning the schema, we need to mention our model, or we can say collection name. Okay, so let's give the collection name as you can say task. Okay, and after it we need to mention our schema. The schema should be task schema, like this. Okay. And now here you can write module dot export is equal to task model. That's it. Okay, now what I want here, I will create a new folder, okay, to create the routes. Okay, since here you can say we have created our let's say express server, then we have made our database connection, and also we have defined our database. So now in order to make a request, we need to create a route. Okay, let's say a endpoint. Because of that I will create a, let's say, route folder. Inside it I will create a task dot route dot routes dot js file. ओके, लाइक इस फाइल के अंदर हम अपने सारे राउट्स को डिफाइन करते हैं. ओके, आई होप यू आर गेटिंग. ओके, so for that what I will do, I will again write, let's say, const express is equal to required. Okay, express like this. Okay, then here I will write const, okay, router is equal to, I will write express dot router. Okay, let's save it, guys. Okay, and also I will export this router as well. So for that I will write module dot exports is equal to router. Okay, so now let's create our route. Okay, so for that I will, like, in order to create a task. Okay, so whenever we want to create any, let's say we want to perform any create, or we want to create a new item, so we can use a post request. Okay, so I will use, let's say, router dot post. Okay, and then here we'll write let's say endpoint. So endpoint, I think it will be a task only. Yeah, I think task will work, or I think we don't need to write anything. Okay, we can define this endpoint at our, let's say, index.js file as well. Okay, so let it be a slash. Okay, now here we have defined our router. Now I will create a controller function for it. Okay, to save our, let's say, task to database. So for that again I will create a new folder. Okay, I will name it as controllers.j, not just controllers. And here I will write, let's say, task dot controller dot js. Okay, so let's create a controller function. For that I will write module dot exports dot save task. Okay, I will give the name as like this save task, and it will be a asynchronous function. Okay, so that we like in this function we are going to make a, let's say, query with our database. So for that we need to made it as a asynchronous function. Okay, so let's create by using arrow function. Okay, and this save task will take two parameter, or you can say two argument. First one it will take request, and second one it will take response. Okay, that's it. Now let's go to our task route. Okay, and here we'll call our, let's say, save task controller function. I think it's done. Now let's go to our task controller and write the logic, okay, to add the task. Okay. First, we'll, let's say, destructure all our request body. So inside the request body, we'll get title. Okay, we'll get description if we have any. Okay, let's say if we, let's say some tasks can, let's say, cannot have a description, okay, but it's an optional. So for that, I will write this as a default string as string as an empty string, and also let's say it need icon and status. Okay, as you can see, I have defined this key inside our I think task model as a schema to our task. You can see we like it need title, description, icon, and status. Okay, so and from where we'll get it? We'll get it from request.body. Okay, so now we'll create a try catch. Okay, so can you tell me guys why I'm creating a try catch block here? Okay, I hope you are familiar with it कि हम try catch block को क्यों create करते हैं. Okay, you can also mention this in the chat. Okay, but I think okay, I think you know about like why I'm creating this try catch block, but if you don't know, you can message in the chat section. Okay, then I will try to explain it also. Okay, so now here what I will do, I will write logic to add or like add this task to our database. Okay, so for that first we need to import our task model. Okay, so let's import it. So I will write first task model. Okay, it will be equal to require. Okay, and then I will write double dot slash model slash task dot model. Okay, let's save it. Now let's write logic. Okay, here I think there is no I think for duplicate. Okay, like our task can be a duplicate as well. So we only need to save our, let's say, this task for database. Okay, so for that I will write, let's say, let's const like new task. Okay, it will be equal to new task model. Okay, and I here it will take let's say object as a, let's say, argument. Okay, and let's you can say take a document. It can be an object type. Okay, inside that object we can write, let's say, we want to push title. Okay, description. Okay, and icon. Description spelling is wrong. DESCRIP. No, it should not be PI. It should be DESCRIP. Yeah, I think now it's correct. Now it will have one status as well. Okay, just make sure guys. Okay, like it should be equal to the key which you have defined into a task schema. Okay, I think there is also a typing error. You can say I have write the description, spelling is wrong. It should be DES, okay, CRIPTION. And now it's correct. Okay, so what I was telling, okay, यहाँ पर हमें सिर्फ इतना ध्यान रखना है कि हमारा जो टास्क स्कीमा में जो हमने जैसे की डिफाइन किया है वो सारा की लाइक सिमिलर की हम यहाँ पर पास कर रहे हैं। ओके, क्योंकि यदि हम इसके अलावा कोई दूसरा के भी हम यदि हम पास करते हैं टास्क मॉडल में, so like what our model will do, it will skip that task. Okay, so like it won't push, let's say push the additional task which we have not defined into our schema. Okay, which it will ignore that key. Okay, so yes, whatever the key we want to push to our database, it should be included into our task schema. Okay, in order to save this task, you need to write await new task dot save. Okay, we need to call this method. Okay, so that's it, and now we can return. Okay, so if you want to return, let's say our newly created task, you can return it. So let's write return. Okay, and here we can write, let's say, response and dot status. First, I need to define the status code, and it should be 201. Okay, so here I have write 201. So I think you know, like for every successful, will return status case. Sorry, HTTP status code as 200. Okay, for successful, like if we want to perform any, let's say, retrieval action, let's say a get operation, okay, or patch operation, okay, and then if it is let's say operation is successfully, then we can return the status code as 200. But if we are creating a new thing into our database, okay, so for that we'll return status code as 201, like as it indicates that we have created new data. Okay, so that's it, and now we need to return some data as well. So for that I will write JSON, and it will take an object. Okay, so here I will write our message as, let's say, not a status, let's say success, and it will be a true. Okay, so we'll handle our, let's say, failure case. Let's say like sometime our API can be failed, okay, due to any reason, and it's let's say you can say unnatural. Okay, ये API कभी कभी हो जाता है कि नेटवर्क के इशू से या कोई कोड में कोई लॉजिक एरर के इशू से वो फेल हो सकता है. Yes, and we need to handle that error case as well. Okay, so for that, what I will do, I will return this success. Okay, कि यदि हमारा सक्सेस में ट्रू मिल रहा है, क्या द क्लाइंट साइड, दैट मीन्स हमारा जो एपीआई है वो सक्सेसफुली रन हुआ है. Okay, and we don't have any error. But like if we get success as false, then we know like API हमारा fail हुआ है, and we can show some error message. Okay, respecting to that error. Okay, I hope you are getting my point. Okay, why I am returning success as true and false. Okay, so now after success, okay, let's create a new message as well. So here I will write, let's say, message, and here I will write message as okay, let's say successfully added task. Okay, or we can write task successfully added. Okay, whatever the message you want to pass, you can write. Okay, and let's say data I want to pass. Okay, and it should pass data as, let's say, it's the same title. Whatever the request party I will get, I will return it as it is. Okay, so it will return title, then description, okay, then icon, and then status. Okay, that's it. Okay, and now inside our catch, okay, here we can write return. Okay, restart status. Okay, here I can pass the status code as 500 and just write return the data as well. You will write JSON, and then we write success as false. Okay, then we can pass a message. It's a internal, okay, server error. Okay, and part is case we don't need to pass any data. Okay, so our API has been created. Okay, you can say I have created a task. Sorry, let's say save task API. Okay, but here I think you can see I have not let's say called this API on the index.js file. Okay, so like it won't be like available to our server right now because you can see there is no relationship, okay, between this task route uh, this index.js file as well. Okay, so in order to let's say make the relationship, or you can say in order to make this API call work, okay, we need to import it on our index.js file. So for that, I would like, let's say, const task route. It will be equal to require. Okay, and here I would like the path should be dot slash routes slash task route. Okay, and here below this app, you can use, let's say, app dot use. Okay, now let's this time I will mention the endpoint, and endpoint will be tasks. Okay, and here we'll pass our task route. Okay, let's save it. Let's open our terminal. Let's see our let's say application. Our server is running successfully. You can say it's running successfully, and I think now I can test our API as well. Okay, so to test it API, okay, we can use, let's say, Postman or Thunder client. Like it's like you can say it's a tool, okay, which we can use to test our API. So I will use Thunder client because it's easy to use, and also it's, and the more advantage like कि Thunder client को हम एज अ एक्सटेंशन अपने VS कोड एडिटर में इंस्टॉल कर सकते हैं, और हम अपने VS कोड एडिटर पर ही अपने API को टेस्ट कर सकते हैं, so that we don't need to go anywhere. Okay, so हम Thunder client को let's इस आइकन पर क्लिक करते हैं, like this icon for Thunder client. So I will click on this. You can see here how we can make an API call. So if you want, like here you can say I have already tested some API. Okay, so I can choose anyone from it, and if I want to create a new request, I can select this new request option. Okay, so let's minimize it so that it should have some space. Okay, now you can say at here we need to select our, let's say, method, API method. So I have created a post method. So I will write a post, and here we need to write our API URL. Okay, so it's HTTP colon slash slash localhost Okay, and it will port is, I think you remember, so 3001. Okay, and here I write tasks. Okay, so let's show you. Here you can see it's running on port data. So since it's running on my local host, so our you can see our origin, you can see the domain name will be http colon slash slash localhost, and then after that we need to mention our port. So it's running on 3001, and here you can say I have created one endpoint for tasks. Okay, and if I go to task hub, you can say I have not defined any separate endpoint for it. Okay, so we can navigate to this task on. Okay, and then since it's a post request, so we have to let's say pass you can say we need to pass a data JSON data to this API. the request again. On again, I will click on this send button, and now this time you can say I got a success message as successfully added task, and I got the data. Okay. So let's say last time once I hit this send button, I got an error. Okay. So that is why because जब भी हम अपने से API में ओके यदि हम कोई जैसे बॉडी जेसन बॉडी को पास करें ओके सो वी need to have at least one middleware in order to pass that request body. Okay, so for that we can use a middleware called express.json. Okay, like this will parse our request body. If you don't have this middleware, then we will get an error. Just like earlier, I have got the error. Okay, so now you can say I got a success message as successfully added task. Okay, now let's see कि हमारा जो मैंने जो न्यू टास्क क्रिएट किया है वो टास्क हमारे डाटाबेस में ऐड हुआ है या नहीं. Okay, we need to check that as well. So for that what I will do, I will open my MongoDB compass. Okay, like it's a kind of graphical user interface for our MongoDB database. Okay, so if you have this database, okay, like if you are using MongoDB, so make sure कि आप अपने सिस्टम में इसे इंस्टॉल कर लें so that you can visualize your data as well. Okay, if you don't have this, then you need to go to your command line, then write query so that you can see the data. But by using MongoDB Compass, it will be very easy to show your data, okay? To see your data. So for our let's say project, I have used this project 0. Right. So what I will do, I will make a connection to this. Okay, now you can see here I will get my database. Okay, so for my project, I think I have used task. Okay, guys, I think I have made one mistake. Question it should have that connection. I think it will be inside test. Yeah, you can see. Okay. One let's say a mistake I have done here, guys. Like once I defined the let's say our connection string. Okay, so here we need to define our database name as well. So if we don't define our database name, okay, so it will create a data with the name of test. Okay, it will create a database with named as test, and inside that it will add your let's say task data. As you can see, it's added here. Okay, but I don't want to create a test database. Instead of it, I want to create a database, a new database for my case. Okay, so now what I will do here after this list, I will write my database name as let's say task hyphen board. Okay, and whenever we made any changes to our env, so then we need to rerun our server. So for that, what I will close my server. Okay, how we can close it? Control C. Okay, clear the terminal and then rerun. Okay, so to rerun our server, we can write npm run dev. Okay, let's see. Okay, now you can see our server is running. Okay, now I think I want to delete this our collection. So click on drop collection. Let's delete this. Okay, you can say collection dropped successfully. Okay, now what I will do, I will again make the same request. So I will hit the send button. Now you can say this time also I got the success message. Now let's refresh our project. Okay, So I refresh our database. Now let's scroll it. So now you can just see this time I don't have a task collection inside our test database, but above this test database you can see a new database has been created named task board. Okay, which we have passed our I think .env. Okay, here you can say I have mentioned the database name is task board. Okay, so it created a new database named task board here, and if I open it you can say I have a task collection, and inside it you can say I have the data. The title is new task, the description is also new task, and icon is main lifting weights, and status is in progress. Okay, so what I will do, I can use this API endpoint, okay, to as a on click. Okay, right, like once I click on it, so it will make that that's it will make the request to our backend, okay, on tasks, like it will make an post request, and then it will add that task, okay, a new task to our database as well. So it's done. So now let's implement that logic item. Okay, so logic means we need to write the logic to make a request from our client to server. Okay, so here you can say I have our but you can say button or paragraph. Okay, so here what I want to create a, let's say, an on click event, or we can, let's say, I can define this on click event to the parent component. Okay, like since once I made this on click event, then we'll get any data. Okay, we'll get the task data as well as a response, and we want to forward that task data to our you can see our UI as well. Okay, so for that I will define my, let's say, on click event here. So here I will write, let's say, const handle. Okay, or instead of handle, let's say write add new task. Okay, add new task handler. I will create this task. Sorry, not this task. It will be a function. Okay, and it will type of async function. Okay, since we are going to make an API request. Okay, so all the API request is asynchronous. For that we need to create a async function. Okay, and inside it again we will create a try case block. Okay, and then now here in order to make an API call we can use either fetch or Axios. Okay, so what do you suggest me, guys? Which module should I use? Should I use fetch or should I use Axios? Okay, like both are easy to use. Okay, if we need to use, okay, and we can use both for make the API call. Okay, just there is one difference, like fetch is a predefined JavaScript module. Okay, whereas Axios is an external npm package. Okay, and Axios also gives some optimize, okay, I can say additional feature which we don't need here because we are creating a basic application, so we don't need that kind of complex logic, so we can avoid that Axios. Okay, we can still use the page. Okay, so let's use the page. Okay, so page को use करने के लिए I will write, let's say, const. First I will create a response variable. Okay, so whatever response we get from our API we will store into this variable, and here first we will write await and then page. Okay, and here we need to pass our URL. Okay, backend server URL. Okay, so here I will pass that URL as http:// localhost colon, I hope you remember हमारा सर्वर कौन से पोर्ट पर रन हो रहा है. Okay, it's running on 3001, and then after that we need to pass our endpoint. Okay, so after that we'll we'll pass an object as well, जहाँ पर हम इसके ऐसे API का मेथड को डिफाइन करेंगे और यदि इसमें कोई डाटा पास करना तो वो भी हम पास करेंगे. Okay, so method it should be a post method. Okay, now let's define the headers. Okay, so header will be, let's say, content type, and it will be a application slash JSON. Okay, and after that headers will define our data. Okay, and डाटा में हम पास करेंगे अपना पेलोड को, रिक्वेस्ट पेलोड को पास करेंगे. Okay, so it will have, like, we need to pass up, let's say, default, let's say, task. Okay, later we can edit this task. Okay, whenever we as you can see, okay, why I am passing a default, let's say, task, why we are not taking the text, title and description from the user, because if you see the user story, okay, and if you see this point, like when user select add new task option, okay, a new task is added with a default name. Okay, जैसे हम न्यू टास्क बटन पर क्लिक करते हैं, एक नया टास्क क्रिएट होना चाहिए, बट वो नया टास्क के पास डिफॉल्ट नेम होना चाहिए. Can say like that new task should be a default name, title, and status and icon as well. Okay, I think status and icon we can ignore, or let's say we'll pass the default title and description as well. Okay, so let's pass this the title. Okay, so I will name it as task in progress. Task in progress, like this. Let's keep P as capital. Okay, we don't pass description. Okay, let's pass icon. Okay, so we'll throw this, you can say, alarm clock watch icon. So for it, again, let's see the icon name. So I think it's alarm clock. Let's pass alarm clock. Okay, typing it wrong. And then we pass status as well. Okay, so let's pass status is in progress, like this. Okay, let's save it. Okay, and also once I make this, let's say, page request, so we'll get our data inside, let's say, await response.json. Okay, like this. But let's say if we have any error, okay, so for that we can show, let's say, console. For example, we only console.error. Okay, so here I write error while adding task. Okay, and we'll show the error message. Okay, and now what I will do, I will pass this add new task handler function as a props to this component, like this. Now let's go to header component, और यहाँ पर हम अपने props को destructure करते हैं. So we'll get it like this, and what I will do, I will pass this function as a on-click event to this, I think, to this entire div. Okay, so here I will get an on-click event. Okay, and I will pass add new task handler. Okay, and also I will define that cursor pointer. Okay, So now let's open our network call. Okay, since we are going to make a network call for this button. So now if I click on this add new task, okay, it should make a before it's not made it. Let's click again. If I got an error, fail to reload. Let's refresh it. See if we have any error. No, we don't have any error. Okay. Now let's again click on it. Nothing is there. Okay, my bad guys. Okay. Like here you can see I have passed this add new task handler to this header component. Okay, which is not correct. Instead of its header component, we need to pass this to a add task component. Okay, so that's why we are not getting any API call there. So what we'll do, we will undo all the changes from here. Now we'll go to our, let's say, app.csx first. Okay, and what I will do, I will cut this thing from here. Okay, because we don't need to pass our add task handler function to as a prop to header component. Instead of it, we need to pass it as a add task function, not function component. So I will paste it. Now I will go to add task. Here same thing will do. We'll import our add new task handler. Okay, and now on this step, okay, I will pass it as an applicable. Okay, so not on about. Let's close it. Control Z. So it should be on play, and I'll pass this function. Let's say add new task handler. Now let's go to our UI. Okay, now if I click on this add new task, okay, you can see I am getting an error, and the error is saying that access to fetch from origin has been blocked by pods plus policy. Okay, so like I am getting a pods error, which I need to resolve it. We can resolve it from our server. Okay, so we'll go to our server and then we go to our index.js file. Okay, यहाँ पर सबसे पहले आपने एक pods एक्सटेंशन को import करना है. Okay, so load let's cost. Okay, cost is equal to required, not capital cost, like this, and we can use it as a middleware. Okay, so how we can use middleware? I hope you remember. We can use app.use, and then we can call this our cost. That's it. Let's save it. Let's go to our UI again. Now let's click on this adding task. This time I got an 500 like internal server error. Okay, here you can say I got an internal server error. Now let's see why I have got that internal server. Here you can see I don't have any error. I think my server was not running at the time when I make the request. Now let's hit that request again. Again we are getting that 500 that info. Okay, let's see. So if I go to task code, let's say save task. Okay, now let's console our error as well. So what I'll do, I'll do console.log. Okay, and here I will write error while saving data. Okay, and I will show that error message as well. Let's see कि हमें सेव करते समय क्या error मिला है, so that we can resolve it. Okay, so let's verify first our server is running. Yeah, it's running. Let my terminal open. Now, if I click on this again, now I can say I'm getting a 500. The server error, error, and you can say it's saying that status is required. Okay, let's see if I'm passing the status or not. So for that, I will go to add new task handler function. Okay, so here you can say I'm passing that status. Okay, validate part status is required, and I'm passing that status. Why it is not able to read that status? Okay, status is required, icon is required, title is everything is required. What is this? So here I have called this task. It's saying that this field are required, and I'm passing that field, but why it's not able to get it? I think I have passed my data in the wrong way. Yes, I got it, guys. Since we are using a fetch request, but before let me tell you guys, okay? आप मुझे बताएं कि मुझे ये एरर क्यों मिल रहा है? क्या डू यू नो कि जब भी मैं ये ऐड न्यू टास्क बटन पर क्लिक कर रहा हूँ, since we are passing our body request body, you can see we are passing our request body here, but still our backend API is not able to read, like it's not able to read our data, like you can say payload also. Can you tell me why I'm getting this kind of error? Let's see if you know this. But if you don't know, no, you can also message like the I don't know. I will tell you because I got that error. कि मुझे error क्यों मिला? Then I will tell you this. But I want to see कि यदि आपको पता है क्या कि मुझे ये error क्यों मिल रहा है. Okay, so let's comment your thought, guys, in the chat section. Okay, no worry if you don't to comment. I will tell you. Okay, so whenever we are passing let's say serialized data to our, with the help of page, we need to make it as a let's say string. Okay, since we can pass that as a data to that an API, we need to make it as a let's say JSON format. We need to convert into a JSON format, and for that, okay, how we can convert it? We can use JSON. Okay, then here we can add JSON.stringify, and I will pass my object as a argument to it. That's it. Now, if I make our request again I got that error. Okay, that's why I think my server is not running. Okay, let's run it. So I will write npm run dev. Okay, let's see. Let's cross the finger, guys. Let's say it's not fail. Okay, again it got fail. The same error as well. I have used correct one now. Okay, now let's see explore the MDN documentation for page. So here I will write page MDN doc. Because guys, we have already tested with I can say Thunder client. Okay, and at the time my API was working, so there is no error with our API endpoint. Okay, we have the error from our client side. Okay, how we are pass making the API call. I think this is creating an issue. Let's try to debug it. Let's remove this error and then test it. No, error is not created. The issue, error is fine. I think the issue is here only. Okay, how we are passing our, let's say, data to backend. Let's see concept and uses. Let's see. We are using a post request. We'll go to request. Hmm. We need to see the body, how we can pass the body. You can pass body like this, but if you want to pass, you can say JSON body. Now, let's see. Page JavaScript info. Okay. So on this, let's say platform will get a better understanding. Okay, so how we can make an API request? We can make a API request like this. Okay, but it's an GET request, but we want to make a post request. So let's see how we can make a post request as well. Like how we can pass up data. Okay, let's just scroll down. Yeah, here you can say we have that post request. So we have an object which we need to pass. This हमें pass करना है. Okay, so inside our headers, as I already defined, the content type is application JSON. So do I need to define the chart sub also? I don't think. And here you can say, okay, guys, you can see the issue. Okay, here you can say I am passing data. Okay, but page does does not need any data. Okay, instead of it, it's take a body. Okay, you can say if we are passing any request body, so we need to define body like this, not a data. Now I think my API will work. So what I will clear my network call. Okay. Now let's click on this add new task, finger cross. Now you can see I got a 201 success response. That means we should be able to create our database or sorry, not database. Should be able to create our task inside our database. So let's verify. We'll go to our MongoDB compass as well. Refresh this. Now you can see this time I got two tasks. Okay, first which we have created from Thunder client, and second one which we have created from UI. Okay, so like we have added let's say a post method. Now let's create a get method so that we can fetch all the created tasks and we can show it on the UI as well. Then later we'll create update and delete functionality as well. Okay, so now let's create those method as well. So for that what I will again go to our, let's see, backend. Okay, let's minimize it. Okay, so similar to our post. Okay, so we'll create a get method. So again I will write, let's say, router dot get. Okay, endpoint will be same. Okay, so like we can create like on same endpoint we can define our get method and a post method as well. Like we can define a multiple method at send same endpoint as well. Okay, so write router.get will pass mention the endpoint as less only. Okay, now let's define our controller. Okay, so below this save task, I will create a next controller function. इसका नाम हम रखते हैं let's say exports dot sorry module dot export dot get task. Okay, like this will fetch the multiple or let's say every task from the database. Okay, so for that we will write, and it will be also a asynchronous function. So I will write async. Argument में लिखते हैं request. Okay, request and response. Okay, since it will be a get request, तो हमें body वैसे request body में कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll only create a try catch block. Okay, and inside that try block, okay, I will write, I think there's type issue. Okay, so I will write let's say const response. Okay, and it will be equal to await task model dot, and we can write query as find. Okay, since we want to fetch all the tasks which is present inside our database. Okay, and it will be equal to let's say await task model dot find, and we will return this data as a response. Okay, to this API. So what I will do, I will write return. Okay, res dot status. This time I'll pass the status as 200 and then a JSON response. And inside the JSON response, we'll pass our entire response. Okay, but if we have any error, okay, so that we can write let's say return res dot status. Okay, on इस बार हम status में pass करते हैं 500 and then JSON. Okay, in JSON will have error as let's say success as false. Okay, error हम लिखते हैं okay जैसे internal okay server error like this. Let's save it. Okay, and what I will do here, I will call our let's say controller function. So for that here I will write get task on this router. Okay, so now here you can say I have created a get request. Okay, which will fetch all the tasks from the task model, or you can say task collection. Okay, and it will return. Okay, so let's write the logic to paste the data. Okay, so again I will come to our app. Okay, and here first I will create a states. Okay, so here I will write let's say task like this state. So then this state will handle all the tasks. Okay, like it will store all the tasks. So it will be a use state. Okay, and in the initial, the value of for this task will be an empty. Okay, you can say empty array. Now here I will create a use effect for okay like this. Okay, so it will be a use effect, and here I will first define a function to paste the tasks. Okay, so function will be let's say paste task, and it will be a async function. Okay, let's create a try catch block, and inside a try block, let's write const response equal to await. Okay, then write page. Okay, and URL will be let's say http colon slash slash local host colon 300. That's it. Okay, we don't need to define, we need to pass any extra configuration, let's say configuration. Okay, and then we'll write, let's say, const data equal to this await, okay, response.json. Okay, that's it. So that we can get the data which is done from this API. Okay, I think I forgot to pass that endpoint. Endpoint should be task. Okay. Now once I receive the data, what I will do, I will set it as just, let's say, set task to the data. Whatever I will data I will get from it. Save it. But if we have any error, we'll write, let's say, console.log. Here I will write error while fetching task or getting task. Okay, let's save it. Once I save it, I think if I refresh it, okay, let's see. If I refresh it, there should be a get request triggered. Okay, I think this is no, I don't think so. Okay, it does not make a get request. I think this is why, because I have only created a function but I have not called it. मैंने फंक्शन तो क्रिएट कर दिया लेकिन उसे कॉल ही नहीं किया, तो कहाँ से मुझे एपीआई कॉल मिलेगा? Correct? So here we'll need to call that function fetch task like this. Now let's clear the network call, and if I refresh it, at this time I think it should make a get request, and which you can say, if you see at bottom, I had a get request. So like you can see the, if I go to headers, you can see the URL. URL is http colon slash slash localhost colon 3001 slash task. And if I go to preview, you can see I got the data as an array format. Okay, then it will have the data like the new task, main nifty weights with an icon, status, title, and this. Okay. Like as you can see, we are able to pull the data from our MongoDB database to our client. Okay, now we only need to show this task to our UI. Okay, I hope you got it. So let's show it also. Then later we'll create a, let's say, sidebar. Okay, we'll create a sidebar and we'll show this sidebar. Okay, and we'll like write a logic to update our task. Okay, so now what I will do, I will create an, let's say, a new component. I will name it as, let's say, task.css. Okay, okay, my bad. I have created one folder. It should not be a folder. It should be a file. So task.css RAFC. Okay. So now it will take the task as like you can say props. There are properties to this component. Okay. So here we will have one, let's say, logic. Okay. So we'll create a, let's say, curly bracket first, because we need to write some JavaScript operation inside our, let's say, HTML element. So here first we'll check if our task, okay, I think we don't need to check it as well. Okay, we only need to map it, okay, over our task, since our task is an array and we want to show all the tasks. Okay, so for that we need to map over it. Okay, so like task.map, okay, and it will equal to task. Like, map will take an callback function, so we'll create an callback function, and it will return, let's say, for example, let's return only the div, okay, which will show the task title. Okay, let's say task dot title like this. Okay, and here we need to define a key, and the key will be task dot underscore id like this. Let's save it. Now let's go to our task board. Okay, I think there is some error. Let's refresh it again. Let's go to console. On console, I am not getting any error. But why I have got that error? Okay, I think there is no error. But I'm also not able to see the task title as well. I have a task title in the. That is why, because again I have not, okay, render my task component. So we need to render it. So we'll write task below to this header. We first need to import it. Once we import it, now we save it. Once I have saved it, okay, I bet you can see initially, you can see our you can see task is empty, so we don't have any data. Here we need to write one check condition. Okay. We want to show this task only if our task, you can say this task, okay, if it is as has any data. If it is an empty array, then I don't want to save, sorry, show our task. Okay, so for that, what I will do here, I will write, let's say, if task dot length, okay, if it is like it has any or non falsy value, that means it has 0, not 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if it has any data, then we will show task. Okay, and we need to pass the task state as argument to this, not argument, properties to it. So we'll pass it like this. But if our task length is 0, then at the time we won't show anything. So just we'll return a null. Null means nothing. We won't return. Now here you can see we have our task name. This is a new task in progress. Okay. So now we just need to style it so that it should look similar to our design. Okay, like this. Okay, so now let's do it. Okay, how we can do it? We can go to our, let's say, task, not here, my bad. We need to go to this component, task component. Okay, task component में चलते हैं और इसे स्टाइल करते हैं. Okay, I think I will create a new component and I will name it as task.csx. Okay, जिससे कि थोड़ा सा स्टाइल करने में easy हो जाएगा. That's why I have created this component. Okay, this component will show the task information like it will, and let's pass the entire task. It will have all the task information here. Okay, so it will have, I think, design similar to our add task button. Okay, let's define it quickly. So like this task, it will have, for this div, it will have two div, okay, two children div, and the first div it will have one div. Okay, I think not one div, it will also have two div as a children to it. Okay, so inside this first div, okay, I will show one image. Okay, now let's this time Here we need to define the path to this image, and it will be, let's say, equal to assist slash, and I hope you remember I am storing that icon name to our database. So we'll get that icon name as, let's say, task.icon. Okay, if you go to our network, okay, here you can say I have the task. If I open the task, let's say object, you can say I'm getting that icon here. Okay, so we'll show a task icon, and what I will do, let's import our task here as well so that we can see the changes here as well. Okay, so here we'll just import our task, okay, and we need to pass first key. So key will let's say task that underscore id, and let's pass the entire task like this. Let's save it. Once I do it, I think I should have the icon. I think, okay, I think it's not visible. Well, let's see why it's not visible. We'll go to our task assist slash task icon. So let's see. So let's make the API request again. Okay, task. Okay, it has, let's say, man lifting weights. I think we have that icon. If we go to our assist, we can see we have man lifting weights. Not PNG. Okay, my bad. I have not defined the extension here, so we need to write the extension as PNG. Now, if I do it, you can see I have that icon for both the tasks. Okay, and we are getting it from the backend as well. From backend, we are getting that icon name. From icon name, we are mapping it to the icon which is stored inside our assist, and then we are showing it here. Okay, that's it. Done. Now in the second div, okay, I think, yeah. So we'll have two paragraph. Okay, in the first paragraph, we'll show the task title. Okay, and in the second paragraph, let's say it will be a conditional because some tasks won't have a description. Okay, so here we'll show this element once we have the description. Okay, so here we'll like if task that description is there, then show a paragraph with task dot description. Okay, but if we don't have, then it will don't be visible. So now you can say for the first task we have description, but for second task we don't have description because we don't have the description for second task. As you see into our database, you can see पहले टास्क के लिए हमारे पास डिस्क्रिप्शन में वैल्यू है बट दूसरे टास्क के डिस्क्रिप्शन में कोई वैल्यू. ओके, so now we have shown this icon, title, description. Now let's see what remain. Icon we have shown, title we have shown here, description, and the status icon. Okay, so we need to show that like icon based on the status as well. Like if our status is in progress, then we need to show this kind of status icon. But if it is completed, then we need to show this icon, and if it is, let's say, won't do, then we need to show this. So based on the status, we need to show our icon as well. So let's see how we can handle this case as well. So part is, I think we need to play around with conditional rendering. Okay, so I hope you already know about the conditional rendering, like what is the conditional rendering. But if you don't know, you can mention in the chat section. Okay, I will try to help you guys. Okay, or I think Instead of handling with the conditional writing, I will show you a different logic. Okay, let's show first a conditional writing, then um, the different logic which I want to show you. Okay, first let's understand the problem statement. Okay, सबसे पहले हम प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट को समझ लेते हैं, देन विल सी कि हम उसे कैसे सॉल्व करते हैं. सो लेट्स से फॉर एवरी टास्क हमारे पास तीन स्टेटस है. ओके, फर्स्ट स्टेटस इज इन प्रोग्रेस, सेकंड है कंप्लीटेड, एंड थर्ड है वांट टू डू. ओके, सो यदि हमारा स्टेटस इन प्रोग्रेस है देन हमें इस तरह का आइकन शो करना है, यदि कंप्लीटेड है देन हमें यह वाला आइकन शो करना है, और यदि वांट टू डू है देन हमें इस क्रॉस वाला आइकन को शो करना है. ओके, सो यहाँ पर आपको एक सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ इफ एल्स स्टेटमेंट आपको समझ में आ रहा होगा कि हम यहाँ पे इफ एल्स स्टेटमेंट का यूज करके लगा सकते हैं. यदि हमारा स्टेटस जैसे इफ status is equal to in progress, then show this image. If status is equal to completed, and show this. Okay, so like similar to it, let's say instead of if else we can use conditional rendering. Conditional rendering क्या होता है? Conditional rendering ternary operator. So ternary operator को आप if else स्टेटमेंट का एक शॉर्ट हैंड सिंटेक्स भी समझ सकते हैं, जो कि हमें ईयर 6 में इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया गया था. ओके, लाइक इट्स काइंड ऑफ if else स्टेटमेंट, बट इसका एक शॉर्ट हैंड सिंटेक्स आप मान सकते हैं. And how we can use the if else statement? Okay, I will show you. Like inside this div, here first we need to write our condition. Okay, so condition, let's say we write if task dot status. Okay, if task dot status is equal to let's say in progress. Okay, यदि हमारे यह condition true है. Okay, then we will show our in progress icon. Okay, so for that I will write let's say image, because I want to show an image. Okay, so here I write image like this. Okay, and this time I will pass the src, let's say path, and path will be equal to let's say assist, okay, slash. Okay, and I think I need to show this kind of image. Let's see where it is. I think close room time attack. I think this one is. If I preview this icon, yeah, I think this one. I need to show this icon, so it will be assist slash time underscore attack underscore due tone dot svg. Now let's go to our website. Now you can see I am getting an error. Okay, so here you guys we need to make sure like as you can see in if block, if we don't have the else block then also our if block work. Okay. But okay, in case of ternary operator हमें else condition का use करना required है. Okay, like we can't left with only let's say if condition. यदि हमारा if condition true है तो क्या शो करना चाहते हैं, बट यदि वो कंडीशन फॉल्स होता है देन हमें फॉल्स लेट्स से स्टेटमेंट को भी हैंडल करना होगा. एंड हाउ वी कैन हैंडल, सो ट्रू के लिए हम क्वेश्चन मार्क का सिंबल का यूज करते हैं. ओके, बट if it is this condition is false, okay, okay, so for that we'll write colon symbol. Okay, so sorry, colon will specify like this condition is false, and what should be happen, we'll write logic after this colon. Okay, so if this condition is failed, okay, then we have another condition to check. Okay, because we have the multiple status now. Let's first if our status is in progress, but if it is not progress then we need to check. Okay, again if our task dot status is equal to condition, sorry, कंडीशन कंप्लीटेड। ओके, देन हमें ये चेक करना है यदि इन प्रोग्रेस नहीं है तो क्या यह कंप्लीटेड है। ओके, सो if it is true, the part true will write a question mark, and here again we'll write define our image. Okay, and this time we'll pass src. Okay, and src में value tick icon को show करना है. Let's see where it is. I think it's done round, or I think now I think it's done only. So let's preview it. No, I think done round. Yeah, it's done round SVG. Duotone. So we'll write, let's say, assist slash done. Let's see that's good. Okay, it's equal to done underscore around underscore due tone dot svg. Okay, now again we need to write on else statement. So if our both status is failed, that means we only left with one. So here we'll only for that we'll only show that image. Okay, so, and the image will be, let's say, image then src, and part will be, let's say, assist slash, let's say, close ring. I think the first one. Yeah, first one or second one. Let's see. Preview SVG. Let's see the color. Okay, it's some white color. So I think the second one is. Let's show this. Not the close underscore ring underscore duotone dot svg. Let's save it. Okay, and if I go to our, let's say, UI, okay, this time I won't have the error, but still I can't see that icon as well. I think it will be there. Let's see. Yeah, here you can say I have that icon, but it's not visible because our icon color is also white and our page background color is also white. That's why we can't see it. Now let's first style this. तो इसको स्टाइल करने के लिए सबसे पहले हम parent div और class name, जैसे class name and class name में भी हम conditional class name apply करेंगे. Okay, so first I will give the class name. First, let's say if you go to design, you can see the background color is changing based on the, let's say, status. Okay, the status you can say in progress है, then we are getting a yellow background. The completed है तो status green background में, और यदि want to है then pink background में है. Okay, so we have to handle that case as well. So here also again we'll write a conditional. Okay, condition. So first we'll write, let's say, task dot status is equal to in progress. Okay, if it is true, okay, then so this busy color, so busy color, and it will be equal to, let's take that busy color from the Dev challenge platform only. I think this first one is, so copy this, come here, and I will paste it here. But if it is false, then here I will write task dot status if it is equal to completed, completed. Okay, then in this case I will use BG. Okay, let's see the BG color. So I think if it is completed, and I think this one is the background color. Okay, but let's see if it's also false, then we'll show the BG color as pink. Because we only left with pink only, so we'll copy this, background color code. Let's paste it. Once I do it, you can see I got a different color code for different. But as you can see, we have got a color code same for the both tasks. That is why, because our both tasks has the same background color, sorry, same status in progress only. Now let's change that status for this background. Instead of in progress, let's change it of, let's say, completed. Okay, now let's update it. Now this time if I refresh it, okay, now you can see the background color for first task is yellow, but for the second task is green. Okay, so that means we are able to change the background color. Okay, so it's done. Now let's style it properly. So for that, what I will do, I will add some more class name to our parent. So here I will write, let's say, class name is flex, okay, and justify between, okay, and item center. That's it. Once I done it, it will look like this, and here I will write W as full. Why it's not working? W full, that means it should take the full with it. Okay, I guess if I the W full for this parent div as well. So here that class name is W full. Okay, now I guess, yeah, you can say it has the full width. Okay, now let's go to our task. Okay, here I will need to change the rounded corner as well. So I will write rounded LG, okay, so that it will have a rounded corner. Okay, now let's reduce that what you can see the image. Okay, icon image size. Okay, for that I will again go to the second div, which inside our parent div. Here also I will pass flex, sorry, display as flex, gap as 4. Okay, and also item center. Okay, so that it should come to center. Now let's go to this div. Let's say div. Okay, so here I will define the width. Let's say how many width we can give it. So for that we will go to add. I think I have created the add task. Okay, so here you can say I have that width and height as, let's say, W10 and S10. So what I will do, I will copy it. I'll come to a task. Okay, and for this image, let's say I will pass this class name as, I will pass this class name. Okay, and here we need to change that background color. Okay, since I think this will be also you can say it will also vary, depend upon the, no, I think it has the same background color as white. Okay, so you can use, let's say, PG white and rounded LG. Okay, and I think we need to give some padding to this parent. I think this will be px4 and py, sorry, px6 and py4. We'll copy it. Okay, let's paste it here. It's anything. Okay, and one more thing, we need to connect cursor as pointer so that it will behave as like this will be a clickable event. Okay, now it's, you can say it's looking like this. Okay, we need to give some gap as well. Okay, and how we can give, so here we have this W tool. Here we'll define the display as flex and then flex the action as colon. Okay, and then we'll define gap as 4. Let's save it. Now you can see we have that gap as well. Okay, but as you can see, our icon is not looking fine. We need to align it properly. Okay, so that's fine. So here what I will do here, instead of giving this with an eye to this div, okay, yes, I think this will require to have one padding as well. It's going to add us, yeah, it has the P2 as padding, so pass it as, okay, again, yeah, now I think it's looking fine. It's properly aligned also. Okay, now we need to increase this icon size. Okay, so it should look similar to it. Okay, so what I will do, I will copy this class name, let's say, or not the whole class name, this one only. And I will pass this as a class name to this div. Okay, let's close it. Okay, okay, so now it's looking at the center. Okay, so here every image, okay, I will pass the same class name as, let's say, w-10 and h-10. Let's do it. Now I can see it's looking like this. Okay, but let's change that background color to the parent div. Okay, so here again we need to write some condition. So what I will do, I will copy this condition from the parent div, because we need to use the similar kind of condition. Just we need to change that color. Okay, so there is no effect because both are the same color. Now for the in progress status, color should will look like this. Okay, and for the completed, color should look like this. And for want to do, it should look like this. Let's save it now. If I go there, now let's refresh it. Like, okay, my bad guys. I made a same mistake. Okay, so let's copy it from here. So Control C, we'll paste here, and here we need to change the background color. Okay, again we need to do the same thing. Copy it, paste, copy it, paste. Okay, again copy it, and then paste. Now let's go there. Now you can see we have that icon. We look like that. Okay, now let's reduce this size as well. Okay, and now it's looking too big. So I think instead of W10 S10, let's change it with, let's say, let's say Control H, W8 H8. Let's change to all. If I do it, okay, it will look like this. And we need to change, let's increase that padding for this tip. Instead of, let's say, P2, okay, it should have P4. Now I think it's looking fine. What do you say, guys? Is it fine? Is it looking similar to design? earlier one was fine. Let's go to add task. Okay. To achieve the similar look and feel, here also we'll use a WF. That's it. So now it's done. So now once I click on this add new task, okay. Now you can say once I add this add new task, it has not added a new task. Okay, so we need to handle this part as well. But if I replace it, you can say we have this three tasks. Okay, but once I made a new task, it's not adding here. We need to handle this case as well. Okay, so how we can handle it? So to handle that part, we will go to our app. Okay, and here you can say once I'm making a new task and once and success response, then we need to set our task. Okay, so let's say like the task is in array format, so we'll destructure our array first. So task, whatever task it has, and then whatever task will get up from our data, like this. Let's save it. Okay, now let's get a new task. Let's do console.log data. Okay, now let's go to console. Okay, now let's see the data. If I click on this, okay, so it has success to the data. I guess it should have data. Earlier one was I was doing right. Let's save it. Okay, let's clear it. Okay, now let's go to database since I have the multiple tasks created here. So let's delete it one by one. Okay, now let's create. I will create all the let's say task one by one again. Okay, let's say it's working fine or not. So here if I replace it, it don't have any task. But if I click on this new task, you can see I have a new task created here. If I click again, you can see a new task has been created here. Okay, just change the task in progress size. Let's say title. So we'll go to typographies. Let's say task title. So for that we need to give the font family. We need to increase the font size and font weight. So we'll go to task. Okay, so let's increase that everything. So we will write let's say class name as text. Let's say Excel. I think I can do. Yeah. And font size को हम बढ़ा कर font weight को हम medium करते हैं. Oh, I guess it's looking fine. Okay, let's say okay for description. I think description is okay. We don't need to check. Description will look as a regular font size. Okay, now let's see if I click create a new task. You can see a new task has been created. Okay, by default, it has the title as task in progress and this alarm clock icon and the in progress icon as the right side. But we can change it. Okay, and how we can change it? By implementing a update feature. But this thing we'll do it into our next live stream. Okay, like for the next live stream, we only left with update and delete tasks. Like in today's live stream video, we have seen how we can create a new task. Okay, how we can fetch a new task from the database. Okay, since हमने इसको इस क्लास से create किया है, so that's why it took some time. Okay, like first we have create our React application. We have created our React application. Then we have created our backend, and also we have add a relationship from a server to database as well. Okay. So that all thing we have done right now. So what I will do, okay, it's already 4, let's say 12:42. Okay, so हम आज के लाइव स्ट्रीम वीडियो को यहीं पर एंड करते हैं। अब कल के लाइव स्ट्रीम वीडियो में हम इसके आगे के पार्ट को कंटिन्यू करेंगे, जिसमें हम अपडेट एंड डिलीट फंक्शनलिटी को इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे, एंड आल्सो विल इम्प्लीमेंट द अपडेट फीचर फॉर दिस टास्क वो टाइटल एज वेल। जैसे कि यहाँ पे टास्क फोर्स के टाइटल को भी अपडेट कर सकते हैं, एंड आल्सो will clear, let's say create one share functionality as well for the task, जिससे कि हम अपने टास्क बोर्ड को किसी दूसरे पर्सन के साथ शेयर भी कर सकते हैं। ओके, साउंड्स गुड। सो आशा करता हूँ गाइस आपको आज का लाइव स्ट्रीम बहुत ही पसंद आया होगा। सो इफ यू लाइक माय टुडे लाइव स्ट्रीम, प्लीज मेक श्योर टू लाइक दिस, एंड आल्सो यदि आप मेरे चैनल पर नए हैं और अभी तक आपने इसे सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया, ओके प्लीज मेक श्योर टू सब्सक्राइब। ओके गाइस, ऐसे वीडियो को क्रिएट करने में यू नो टाइम लगता है और समय लगता है। ओके, एंड यू नो हार्ड वर्क लगता है ये गाइस। ओके, बट आई जस्ट वांट टू नो, यदि आपको ये कंटेंट पसंद आ रहा है तो जस्ट से लाइक जरूर करिए, जिससे कि मुझे समझा कि मैं जो भी कंटेंट बना रहा हूँ वो आपको पसंद आ रहा है। इससे इससे क्या होता है, मुझे एक मोटिवेशन मिलेगा और मैं ऐसा नया कंटेंट और इसमें और इम्प्रूव करने का प्रयास भी करूँगा। तो आपका जो भी वैसे कमेंट है या फीडबैक है, ओके, यू कैन स्टिल मेंशन इन द कमेंट बॉक्स। अगर आप जब ये लाइव स्ट्रीम ओवर हो जाता है उसके बाद भी आप कमेंट कर सकते हैं। तो आपका जो भी फीडबैक है, ओके, कैन आस्क मेंशन इन द कमेंट बॉक्स, एंड आल्सो यू कैन मेंशन योर सजेशन। यदि आप अपने सजेशन को भी दे सकते हैं कि मैं अगला जो लाइव स्ट्रीम है या अगला वीडियो में किस टॉपिक पर क्रिएट करूँ, ओके, या आपके पास कोई प्रोजेक्ट आइडिया है तो वो भी आप मुझे बता सकते हैं। ओके, सो दैट्स इट गाइस फॉर दिस टुडे लाइव स्ट्रीम। ओके, आई होप यू enjoyed this live stream. Now I will meet you soon in my next live stream video. Till then, happy coding, and also a very happy good night to all of you guys. Okay, sweet dream and take care. Bye. Before end this video live stream guys, यदि आपके पास कोई क्वेरी है मेरे लिए या आप मुझसे कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं, so still you can ask me. Okay, I'm here for some time. यदि आप मुझसे कोई पूछना चाहते हैं या मेरे बारे में कुछ जानना चाहते हैं तो यू कैन आस्क मी, यू कैन सी इन द चैट सेक्शन।